Alright, welcome to week 3. I'm re-recording this because my recording indiscriminately paused when I was like halfway through this. So this is, that's really annoying. But welcome to week 3. This was actually kind of a fun week. A couple of very good battles happened, which was fun. We are going to have a shorter video this time around. Oh, don't mind this. This was from when I was recording and I was doing a lot of calcs. So don't mind that. But anyways. There were a lot of close games this week, so it was quite good. We are short on battles. We had one forfeit. Eldridge was moving into college, I believe, so, you know, dead exhausted, so I understand. And then Radacious just, whatever, man. But yeah, I won't be going over those battles. Obviously, one was a forfeit, and the other one is late. Sorry, Icarus. I'm not going to do late battles. That's a lot of effort. I might try to rush this a little bit. I have a class going soon. When I started recording this, I had a lot more time, but yeah, because my OBS decided it wanted to be fuck-ass annoying, instead I don't have that. So yeah, we'll get right into it with Logan versus Ben. And very obvious Sandy Shock's lead. Tentacruel is a bad lead here, if we're being honest. Logan is leading one of two things. He's leading Palafin or he's leading Sandy Shocks. Why is he leading those two? Well, lead Politoed, you never lead Politoed. There's just not a lot of reason to, and even then, this is not even close to the best thing against a lead Politoed, right? So what? Lead Fortress? Okay, why are we leading Tentacruel into Fortress? What? Just lead Entei, right? He's not leading Archaludon either because you have a Gliscor. So there's literally no reason for him to do that. So he's going to lead either Palafin or Sandy Shocks, at least in my opinion. I also don't think the way Logan has been playing, he's been using Fortress more as a switch-in than a lead Hazard Setter, so that's probably not going to happen either. Especially with your Zarude not being Terrifier, you have no way to really hit this Fortress, so he's not going to lead it. He's going to preserve it if he's smart, which Logan's not stupid. So yeah, it's going to be lead Palafin or Shocks. So if you're Ben, lead something to counter both of those. If we're being real, the best option is just lead Zarude and click your Terragrass. Just click Terragrass bulk up off lead. Or click knock off lead and just get a free item off of something, because none of these guys want to lose their items. But instead, we have to immediately start being defensive. We get the Zarude anyways on the Volt Switch, but now Logan gets free pivot. He goes straight to his Fortress. And this is a bad turn. You have to switch here. This thing's signature move is Thunder Wave, and you getting Thunder Wave means you lose the game. So that's what happens. Knock comes off. He reveals Helmet. Rocks go up. He bulks up again. Logan just Volt Switches. He's fully intending on stacking this if he needs to, but Volt Switch is also good because you cannot stand and let this set up to +1 trillion. Florges comes in, clicks Moonblast. This gets full parried, which is bad because he sets Wish. If we're being real, he should just attack again. You're always dead to Zarude. You have no defense, and if you're gonna go Sandy Shocks, and he's smart, he hopefully switches. So you should just Moonblast again and get more damage, to be honest. But he doubles to Archaludon. I don't know why we doubled to Archaludon here. Terra Blast, Terra Ice just, like, claims something, to be honest. I just don't know why we doubled here, but Gliscor comes in. Now you have to switch again because it's EQ. Ben takes literally zero advantage of that and protects for really no reason. Rapid Spin comes off. At this point, Logan is just sacking this to make sure hazards go off, which is really smart. I agree with that play. That's what he does, because after this, you just get this in and you start clicking. Terra Ice, Terra Blast comes off, and this dies instantly. Out comes this. He's basically saying, I'm choiced. I think that's Scarf. That doesn't look like Specs damage at all. Toxic comes off, it doesn't do anything, of course. He's just going to switch to Archaludon because it's literally free on this guy. He's going to spin away the rocks, which is totally fair. At this point, you need to do something about this Archaludon. Ben, in the post-game, said he forgot about Electroshot. That's really bad. Electroshot is literally this thing's signature move. You should know that it gets that. And if you don't know it gets that, you should have looked beforehand and went, why does he have an Archaludon on a rain team? Why did he not get a good steel type? Because water gets rid of its fire weakness. So, like, having a good steel type would have been significantly better than our Caledon if it didn't get Electro Shot, but that's besides the point. Toxic Spikes go up, in comes Electro Shot, and I mean, we're layering T-Spikes, which is just not any good. This game's not going to last long enough for that to happen if you don't take care of this Arcalodon soon. Sacking HP on this Aegis Slash means it no longer takes a hit from shocks. I don't know if it did anyways, but Sacred Sword comes off, which breaks sub. If we're being honest, he needed to go Latios first, and Dragon Pulse to break the sub, and then go Aegis Slash and click Sacred Sword. Or even Ice Beam breaks sub, yeah. He needed to break sub first, and then go Aegis Slash and click Sacred Sword to get through the defenses. But instead we have this sequence. Also, Logan, I really don't know why you ran Draco here. Just run D-Pulse if you're going to set up with Electro Shot like this. Like, there's just... Either way, it doesn't matter. Draco's just going to keep claiming. In comes the Zarude. Logan's basically just sacking Politoed here, which is fine. At this point, you don't really need Rain anymore. You kind of just win with shocks. The full paras are annoying, but I mean, you're losing the game anyway. Zarude cannot win at this point, especially with the para. This is just a free Draco. This knock is going to come off. That means he can Draco again. He decides to take the hit with Aegis Slash, which is totally fair. But yeah, Logan wastes some turns here. You'll see. This dies to burn, and out comes Palafin. Just go Sandy Shocks and click Earth Power. Because if Zarude comes in, you click Ice Beam, and then it dies. And then if Aegis Slash comes back in on the Ice Beam, good, you click Earth Power again. Like, you just win with shots at this point. But instead, he fools around a little bit, powers up Palafin, puts William back on the field, literally sacks it, and then just clicks Terra Blast until Kingdom Come. Yeah. So not much to say there. Weirdly played. Logan played fine, Ben, eh. Obviously, this team isn't around anymore, so there's not a ton to say about criticism because who's going to listen? But there's a lesson to be had here. Research your opponent's team. Learn why he has those mons. Learn what they do. That is very important. Venom versus Typical is interesting. Yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Leaf Garganacl is obvious. Monum reads this because this is where you see the Mungus. Typical senses some fuckery is going on, so he switches out. Also, he's Terra Fairy, so if this has Sludge Bomb and reads the Terra Fairy, which Monum could definitely do that, he goes for hard reads all the time. That'd be really bad to lose that HP versus the Urshifu, so Typical basically always has to switch. U-turn comes off and he gets burned. Normally that'd be bad. This is really good and you'll see why later. In comes Tauros, and he doubles to Primarina, likely thinking that this could be... I don't know. I actually don't know why he made that double. Well... No, I don't know why he made that double. Maybe he's just worried about missing a Stone Edge, because this was Stone Edge Tauros, and it would have killed, I'm pretty sure it would have killed from this range. So, I think he's just worried about missing Stone Edge and then just dying to Hurricane, so he makes the double to Prim, but he reveals that. I'm assuming that means no Hurricane, because he just stayed in and clicked Flame. And then he clicks Hyper Voice. You should know from this, it's very obviously Liquid Voice, because he didn't resist it. He clicks Heavy Slam. Dude, just go for Power Meteor Beam. I'm sorry, like, you just need some more offense. You're just getting so little off your read turns. Roost comes off. Heavy Slams again. That's bad. I'm pretty sure he was predicting U-turn, but like, now we're going Zam on the U-turn, really? Like, you might as well just keep Heavy Slamming if you're going to commit to it. Comfey comes in, Typical makes a double to Corviknight, and the trick comes off. This is why this was really good, because if this is Spore, Typical's no longer worried about it because he's burned and cannot be Spored. Even though his goggles are gone. Zam comes out, he's going to go to Middle Queen. In comes Corviknight, he's going to trace the Mirror Armor and then sub up. He's already revealed no Intimidate, so that doesn't really matter, but now he's going to charge up, get the Charge Beam boost, U-turn's no longer going to break sub because of that burn. And that's the thing with that burn. Yeah, it prevents you after getting tricked off your goggles from getting spored, but it also means U-turn no longer breaks sub, which is really good for Monum, until he forgets that this is Liquid Voice, or doesn't realize that Liquid Voice is a thing and dies. He did calc that he would live Hyper Voice, but he forgot about Liquid Voice, which he should have known, because why is Celestial not resisting Hyper Voice? Yeah. This game is over. I'm not even kidding. This game is just over now. Why is this game just over? This Comfey is Trick. That means it is not offensive. These are all defensive mons, and that means his only offensive presence is Urshifu. Typical hard walls that with Garganacl. Typical literally cannot lose this game. Unless he's like the worst player in the world. He cannot lose this game. Because Garganacl's never dying to Urshifu, and these mons cannot break the rest of the team. Like, they physically cannot, and they don't have enough turns for the rest of the, they just don't have enough bulk to survive the onslaught the rest of this team is going to put on. So, this game literally already ended. But yeah, he's going to Giga Drain. I mean, at this point, again, there's just no offense. So, he's going to flip back and forth here to avoid getting worry seeded and fucked up on his Garganacl. That's what these plays are. And then finally, he forces an into Queen. Sludge play gets the Sludge Wave play right, and then he goes back to Amoonguss, likely predicting either a switch because it's like maybe he's reading Choice, or he's reading T-Ball. Either way, Typical just clicks T-Ball, and now you're taking damage on Amoonguss either way. So, Giga Drain doesn't do enough. He's just going to Sludge Wave again. He really should have sacked Amoonguss. Why? Because this is actually effects for Amoonguss. He forgot to switch his ability, which is, again, another lesson. Don't do that. So, yeah, we're going to see that. This is just going to click U-turn. Dude, I'm pretty sure this was in range of Wicked Blow. Just fucking click it. Like, you have no reason to click U-turn, because this hasn't Terra'd yet, so there is no resist at this point, because that Prim is at too low HP to take 2. We sacked the Comfey, which isn't good. We should have just sacked the Amoonguss again. Now the Garganacl comes out and clicks Terra Fairy for free. U-turn is correct this time around. Out comes Amoonguss. Again, we see that it's actually Effect Spore, which is a little funny, because after the Worry Seed happens, his Effect Spore does poison the Garganacl, which is really funny, but it's too little too late at this point. He's just going to go hard Tauros, because Synthesis especially means no Spore. Raging Bull, now this is definitely in range. He just clicks Stone Edge, and then clicks Raging Bull for the rest of the game to win. Yeah, not much to say there. A pretty easy win for Typical. Yeah. Monum played his Zam a little too risky. He should have preserved HP and waited for the perfect moment to go for the sweep there, because it was the only thing that he could sweep with at that point. Typical ended up having Scarf Roaring Moon, so even if he did get off that sub for free, Typical just goes Roaring Moon, clicks U-turn and breaks sub, and then sacks off anything, and then goes right back to Roaring Moon and does it over again. Monum has enough HP to get multiple subs off, so he gets those. If he gets those plays correct, he can still win, or still get a lot of damage done to the team. But losing the Zam for HP on these two mons that, especially Prim never saw the field after Zam died again, and Corvus Choice Spec anyways. You don't need damage on it, so losing Zam for that, it's too little. Monum just needs more offense. Running 4 bulky mons is just not any good. Because you're relying on the Urshifu, which is really easy to hardwall when you have a Terra Fairy Garganacl, which means that the only way you're going to get through Typical's team is with the Zam, which is not enough, because it's too frail and you're not going to be able to heal it up. Typical has more than enough bulk, and all it takes is 1 Scarfmon to put this thing in a blender, so yeah. Nilly versus Cable, very interesting game. Nilly's got the double poison. I forget what... there was something she should have ran instead. I forget what it was. I'm not going to go look at the spreadsheets right now, but yeah. We'll go right into it. Lead Zapdos. I don't know why we led Zapdos. I'm assuming he's doing lead. I think the thing was he's predicting lead. No, I don't. No, I don't know, because I think lead Claydol was so obvious, but whatever. Straight to Mew. Trick Room. Standard Nilly. Melmetal comes out. Flip turn. This reveals that it is actually bulky Mew and not offensive. Because if you're offensive, you need all 4 of your move swaps for that, and not flip turn. So it's going to be bulky Mew. That is worth noting. Straight into Sinistra. This is actually going to Toxic. Cable's going to Strength Sap here, likely thinking he's going to get double Iron Bashed or something stupid, so fine play. Shadow Ball comes off, gets his F drop, switches straight to Dugtrio. This is Curse Muck. And then here's the thing. Cable, I believe in the post-game, said he just did not notice this or just forgot this had Terra. But yeah, this is Terra Flying Muck. So obviously she's going to Terra Fly over the Earthquake and kill the Dugtrio. I believe it was banded, so yeah. Out comes Arcanine, because now that this is flying, there are no switch-ins to Head Smash anymore. Nilly goes Alomomola. She should have ran the Calc and known that it was going to do that much, because, like, yeah, this is Choice Band Arcanine, and Head Smash is so hard to deal with. It really should have just been Claydol first, because at this point, Claydol, I don't know what, is your Zapdos switch in? Do you need a Zapdos switch in? You kind of do, actually, so I guess Claydol is pretty important. But if you're Nilly, you should start recognizing that Shaman is really good here if you can get damage on Zapdos. So you do need the... It's funny, because Cable's best offensive piece here seems to be Zapdos right now. Well, I say that, and this Arcanine is fucking hitting everything, so no, it is just the Arcanine, but Zapdos is also really good offensively here. But Nilly also needs damage on it so that Shaman can do literally anything. So yeah, Head Smash, we're taking big chip on Alomomola. I mean, it's regenerated, so it's not like it's the worst thing in the world. And then misses Head Smash on the Claydol. Sinistcha comes out, that's pretty obvious. It's just gonna click super effective. It takes a lot from Ice Beam, another Shadow Ball, another F drop. And then double Iron Bash gets you paralyzed, which, like, yeah, that's what you get for clicking a multi-hit. This should have been Punching Glove. I'm sorry, like, why are we not running something like that into a team that has a static Mon? Out comes Hurricane, which kills the Claydol. And right back to Melmetal, because it's your only thing that can deal with this at this point. Rock Slide comes out, that's very big damage to get. At this point, you need to... okay, we're switching again. I feel if you're Nilly, you just need to hit it and sack Melmetal, because if you have damage on this, Shaman can win the game. Yeah, I mean, you still have to get through Mew, which is going to be really difficult. So it's not like you just win the game, but Mew is Terra Steel, so you have a significantly better chance. And this dead, well, I guess your rocks are gone, but I was going to say this dead means rocks can go back up and stay there, which is good for Arcanine and a couple other mons, but if it's, you know, it's not going to matter at that point, so... But Nilly goes Salazzle instead. Yeah, Cable's just going to keep clicking, because he's either killing the Melmetal, or he's killing something else. So, like, Nilly makes her second best play, which is go Salazzle, and basically just sack it, because, damn. And then Cable's going to go straight to Arcanine, because, I mean, he's dual resist, so who cares? And he's going to actually show off that he's Scarf, because he's faster than Salazzle. So, Nilly goes right for the Shaman, which means that this is Scarf right back, actually. Earth Power comes off, it does literally 0 to the Mew. A guy like me calls the Earth Power. Oh wait, no, never mind, Shinista dies in 2 anyways, so... but yeah, calls the Earth Power straight to the Mew. Guy like me actually goes Zapdos and clicks Roost. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm going Zapdos, I click Roost, and I win the game instantly. But this is a huge lead for Cable at this point, because all he has to do is not get 6-0'd by Shaman, because none of these other mons can really threaten him at this point. They all lose to Zapdos, first of all, but yeah, no, that's it. They all just lose to Zapdos. Second of all, every time this Arcanine comes in, something dies. So, yeah, she's just going to flip turn for free on the Melmetal. It was moving first, which means it clicks Protect. So she would have gotten a little bit of extra leftovers, and crit flip turn is like, okay, man. Straight Scent comes off, because why wouldn't you? It's free health. It's going to re-toxic the Sinistcha. but Cable's not going to care at this point. He's just going to go for another Shadow Ball. Double Iron Bash doesn't matter, and then switch in on the Shadow Ball again. No drop, but he's just going to click Matcha Gotcha. Nearly clicks Wish here. I'm sorry, you just need to flip turn into Shaman and start trying to get kills, because this is so low that if you just get in and start clicking Air Slash, you have a chance to win the game on the spot. If you get, first of all, flinches on these two, you can win. Second of all, if you just switch Shaman in here now and start clicking Air Slash, the only thing that can take it is the Mew. And honestly, at this point, you need to just flinch down the Mew anyways. You have no other way to break it, because he's just going to switch when he sees that Melmetal again. And he has a sack lead too. So when that Melmetal comes in, he goes right back to Sinistcha, and if it dies, he goes to, I mean, he can go Valiant and just collect. Or just go right back to Arcanine and click Blitz or something. Like, you just need to, like, wishing here is just not a great play, I don't think. You're wasting turns. And obviously she can't stay in again because it's going to click Matcha Gotcha. So she goes to this. Yep. Gets the read on the Arcanine, but it doesn't matter because it still lives. And at this point, another Head Smash is coming out, and another Mon is going to die because this is not healed up and no longer takes Head Smashes. Scarf Mew comes back out and gets the Air Slash play correct. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's in range anyways. She switches out this time around, gets Psychic Fangs comes out. Pretty standard. He's just going to keep clicking it. I don't think this is the right play. What he should have done is... he should have, because at this point, Cable loses to Shaman. Cable can still lose to Shaman if the flinches go the right way. He should sack Arcanine. And you know it's Terrafly, Terra Blast, so Arcanine might even live and you can Head Smash again, which would be great. You need to sack Arcanine and then get Zapdos in and click Roost, so you no longer lose to Shaman, I think is what you were supposed to do. Because after that happens, you can obviously just T-bolt these two for free, and then Shaman can't kill you. So, but instead he just trades HP. But he does get this soft-boiled up, so I guess it doesn't really matter, because he is soft-boiled, so who cares. Seed Flare misses. And I'll talk about this in a second. Seed Flare happens again. And for some reason, Cable waited till now to Terra. He should have Terra'd off Rip. No, that's a lie. He should not have Terra'd off Rip. Sorry. And Millie's going to complain about the Seed Flare miss a lot, but that's an 85% accurate move. It's going to miss. And if it doesn't miss against this Mew, it's going to miss against someone else. You need to connect 3 in a row just to kill the Mew, and then you need to connect a lot more in a row just to kill something else. And no, you needed to connect 4 in a row. Well, here's what happens. Here's how Cable can win the game anyways. I don't know if Cable sees this play, but if Nilly does kill this Mew with only Seed Flares, right? Cable knows this is Scarf because it came in so aggressively on his Arcanine. If not, he can test that theory. He can just go straight to Arcanine and click a button, and if it's faster, then you know it's Scarf, because this is Scarf Arcanine itself. We know this because it outsped Salazzle. So after that, that means you go Sinistcha, which lives and kills with Shadow Ball. If Nilly loses this Shaman, she loses the game, so she cannot stay in on the Sinistcha. And besides, if the Mew is gone, at this point she just wins with Scarf and Air Slash. So you go Sinistcha, and then you make the double to Zapdos on Nilly's switch, and you just click Roost. And then once that happens, and even if you're in front of Melmetal, you can Roost infinitely until it gets full parried. And then just kill it with Thunderbolt. And if it Toxics you, that's fine, you just Thunderbolt anyways, because then you take infinite hits from the Shaman. So, Cable still could have, I mean, Cable still had a very easy way to win. Nilly, if Nilly calls that double, I don't know if she does, she could and win, but I mean, this is too much at this point. At this point, the Mew just wins. Nilly can't break it, because of Terra Steel, she can't kill it with Toxic. And Sinistcha's just going to be able to heal up and kill everything. So yeah, that's this game. Very well played from Cable. Really messed up a little bit in play and in prep. And Cable did most of the things right. I think he needed to be a little bit more careful versus the Shaman Sky win con, because that thing still could have won if it got lucky. With Serene Grace, that's pretty likely, so... besides, this is the one I was furiously calcing for a while. You'll see why. Yeah. But we'll get right into it. So, Stableline makes a very good call off Rip, which is leading Rillaboom. Note Zero Aura is Terra Fairy and Drill is Flying. But Rillaboom leads good into this entire team. He's calling lead Hippowdon, which is super obvious, and of course gets it correct. Excelsior, yeah, I mean, it's not even bad leading Hippowdon into this team, to be honest. Like, you kind of beat everything but the Hippo, so, like, I can't even blame him, yeah. But what Excelsior does next is bad. You should know that this is something that's going to be able to kill Hippowdon. You should be able to, or you should have something that can deal with that. Also, this is max HP, max defense Mandibuzz. Look at what this switches into. Look at Sableine's team, okay? What does it switch into? I guess Swampert, but you do have a Water Absorb mon as well, that's worth noting. Also, who needs to switch into Swampert? Regular-ass Swampert? No one. You don't need to switch into Swampert. It's fine. Volcarona is what the Jellicent is for. Okay, let's ignore that. He didn't prep for Cofagrigus at all. We'll see why it's here later. But besides Cofagrigus, you don't need to switch in for. It's not. It doesn't. It's a support mon. You don't need to switch in for a support mon. Landorus is a special mon. You're not switching in Mandibuzz on that. That doesn't make any sense. Besides, he's Balloon Okidogi, as we'll see later. That's the switch in. Zero Aura, if you are suicidal if you're switching a Mandibuzz into a electric type. So you don't switch into any of these 5 mons. What else is the Mandibuzz here for besides to switch into Rillaboom? But Excelsior makes the Rotom Heat play instead, which is terrible because it takes that much from Woodhammer. That's not a switch in. It's Choice Band. He has to switch because this Rotom can threaten Overheat. He's just going to switch to Mandibuzz because he's scared of Glide. He has not calced and realized that this is Choice Band. He's going to knock off the Boots, which is good because it sets up a good Rocks for later. He's, again, U-turn. This is all pretty standard. Roar into the Extra Drill. You can't stay in. You cannot take this hit. So he switches out. Rocks come off. Excelsior's just going to defog them. This is all pretty standard. Okay, this Jellicent is a misplay. It's a misprep, I should say. It's Giga Drain. Giga Drain is a good move. You should just be Willow Hex. Why should you just be Willow Hex? If this is a Swampert that's meant to outslow you, so it can get slow flip turns, who cares because you're Water Absorb? What switches into this Jellicent? You beat the Volcarona. You're Spadef. You beat the Landorus. These two? Imagine getting a Wellow on either of these two. Oh my god. It'd be beautiful. So, bringing Giga Drain over Willow Hex, in my opinion, is a bad play. But anyways, we see Giga Drain, it does a lot to the Swampert. Battle comes up into the Rillaboom, gets a Spadef drop. This isn't gonna matter. You have to go Mandibuzz. It's gonna take a lot. He's gonna double to Volcarona. I don't know why. Okay, this was a terrible play from Sableline. You just Woodhammer again. Like, you just Woodhammer again. He is sacking the Mandibuzz because it does nothing else here but switch into Woodhammers, and it doesn't do that anymore. So, you just Woodhammer again. I don't know why you don't. But Sableye, I think got panicked over fast Mandibuzz, because I think I remember him talking about that in the VC when we were playing. See, look at this roll. Max defense, let's say it's max HP as well for the best roll possible, right? Woodhammer does 33 to 39. This is at 36. You need a mid roll to kill. just go for it. Like, he's just sacking. He's clicking Roost after anyway, so, I mean, worst case scenario, you could just go straight to Zero Aura, like, and click. So, I guess it wasn't the worst, because if you don't get the roll, you're feeling bad about yourself. Because he did get a max roll here, but he doesn't have to assume that's a max roll, you know? Let's see the other Woodhammer. The other Woodhammer did how much? The other time it hit Mandibuzz. Oh, he didn't hit Mandibuzz another time. So yeah, he has no reason to assume this is a max roll either. So he should just stay in and click again. And you know it's not faster because it's defensive. It's never going to be faster. But instead he switches to Volcarona, which again isn't the worst play, but I really think you should just click again. He actually chooses to sack Rotopeat, and then we get this Paint Split, which is staying in Flamethrowing here, bad play. You have a whole Swampert, which is exactly what he goes to, and Excelsior calls it with a Toxic, which is really good. He now goes Hippo. You really should go Mandibuzz here, because it's knockoff Roar Liquid. I think you should go Mandibuzz, but anyways, now we're sacking the Mandibuzz. Especially with no boots and rocks up, you just go Mandibuzz. Landorus comes out, very free Rotom. He's gonna Nasty Plot, he's going to Pain Split. That's fine. I think Toxic first would have been better. He was expecting to take a hit, but I think getting a Toxic would have just been better overall. Doesn't matter either way, he gets it at the end of the day. And now Okidogi comes out, which it shows to be Balloon. Ice Punch comes out. This very key. Flame Body does not proc on this, and this gets Toxic Chain. That's very important for the game. Jellicent comes out. Flamethrower comes off. He's just going to click Roost while he clicks Recover. This is very free. And he's going to click Scald. It does not burn the Zero Aura. And this is why I think you should have just won Willow. Because imagine, because this is Toxic, you can literally just mash Willow in the face of the Volcarona, and something would have to switch in. Right? Like, and getting a burn on any of these mounts is good. Like, even if he just goes to Landorus, you just click Scald. You can click Scald the next turn, or you can even Willow again, because it's really not doing that much to you. He's going to get the Rillaboom in. This was a very good play from Sableye. In this position, he's threatening Plasma Fists, right? Let's wait for the Skull to come off. Excelsior has 3 plays. The risky play to Excadrill, the safe play to Hippowdon, or the super risky play of staying in and calling coverage move for the Hippowdon or the Excadrill. Sableye makes a good play and goes Rillaboom, which covers all 3. Rillaboom at this point is going to beat this Excadrill 1v1. It is Terrafly. I don't think that matters, because I still think you don't want to take that damage. It covers the Hippowdon, and I don't even think, if we're being real, he's not going to go Excadrill. He's going to go Hippo, or he's going to stay in. The only way this could go wrong is getting Scald burned on the switch, if he does end up staying in. But even if that happens, I don't even think you really care at this point. You're still obliterating that Hippo, even when burned, and you're obliterating this Jellicent, which is the only things you care about. He can't switch Okidogi. He needs the Balloon to win the game. And he can't just raw switch Excadrill, because it's going to take too much damage. So yeah, going Rillaboom here is probably Sableye's single best play, because it covers everything. Excelsior goes to Hippo, of course, thinking, you know, I'm going to switch to into Zeraora like that. Woodhammer does come off. He just sacks it, which is the correct play in my opinion. Stand happens. Out comes Big Dick Randy on the Excadrill. Switch Jellicent, perfectly reasonable. Shadow Ball with the drop is insane, but he recovers off anyways on the switch. It's going to Willow. He's just going to Scald. Very standard. And then he's going to sack the Plasma Fists, also pretty standard. Out comes Excadrill. Oh, this is one thing I forgot to mention earlier. Back on that turn where the Landorus Earth-powered the Okidogi came out on an air balloon and the Landorus switched out, now you know this does not have Psychic. So it's Plot, Sludge Wave, Earth Power. You know 3 of its moves, and you know it's not Psychic, so you need to start thinking about what its last move is. In my opinion, it can really only be one of 2 things. Rock Polish or Rock Slide for Mandibuzz, but I think even a coverage move is going to do better there. So at this point, I think you can narrow this down to having Rock Polish and being a Double Dance Landorus. But that's besides the point. There's a really now we're in a super interesting endgame. Sableye successfully wasted a ton of Sandstorm turns. And now we're at a point where Excelsior can win this, but the sequence of events he needs is super specific. First of all, we know that this is choice. He has to switch here. So that's exactly what happens. This is Mummy. So Excelsior, no matter what, is going to lose to Sand Rush next turn. He has Terrafly, Terra Blast, but even if he does that, this is going to be on the field for 1 more turn, and that means that Sandstorm will go away permanently, so your Sand Rush won't even matter. So, as the Excadrill, your best play is to Iron Head and hope for a flinch so you don't get burned, because this Cofagrigus is living no matter what. Yeah, this Cofagrigus is living no matter what. So, your best play is to Iron Head and go for a flinch. Excelsior High Horsepowers, which isn't terrible either, and misses. This miss loses him the game on the spot. He actually could have won if it landed. Let me explain. First of all, we'll go through the rest of the turns first, and this is the reason why. It's because Sableye brought a terrible item. He brought a Eject button. Yeah. And that could have lost him the game if Excelsior did not miss that high horsepower. Why is that? Look at this turn right here. Now we have a Zeraora staring down an Excadrill. Imagine he landed that high horsepower. It did about 28%, so let's double that, because no, let's say no Willow, it does about 56, right? Plus he's gonna have to switch into Rocks again. There is Rocks in, oh no. So it's gonna do about 56, there's no Rocks, it's gonna do about 56, so this thing is a lot lower. Yeah, this thing is a lot lower. 56, so it's going to be down 62%. So, Cofagrigus, standard max HP set, it's going to be down 52%. It's going to be at 48%. It's not leftovers, and it's no item because the eject button got procced. Keep this in mind. This is obviously not the set, but this doesn't matter at this point. If Excelsior lands at a high horsepower, this Zeraora comes right back out, and the game is literally a 50-50. It only matters if Sableye predicts Excelsior's Terra. This is Terra Flying Excadrill. And this is Choice Band Zeraora with Blaze Kick and Plasma Fists. It comes down to this. If Excelsior gets it right, and he either doesn't Terra on the Plasma Fists, or Terras on the Blaze Kick, he lives and kills Zeraora. Then the Landorus comes out. And then kills this Excadrill whether it Terras or not. Excelsior goes right out to Okidogi, clicks Ice Punch. Again, this is at 48%. Okidogi. Ice Punch plus Knockoff. 48. Ice Punch plus Knockoff may kill, but if he clicks Knockoff first and reads the switch to Cofagrigus, so he clicks Knockoff 2 times in a row, this Cofagrigus dies. He keeps his balloon intact as the Landorus comes back in, clicks Ice Punch, and wins the game. Obviously, none of this can happen because of that miss. Because of that miss, no matter what happens, well, no. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But if we're being real, the best play that would have happened here, let's say, again, no burn and the Copper just got hit, Sableye clicks Blaze Kick almost no matter what on the, because even if it Terra Flies, it puts it in range of Lando. So Blaze Kick is probably in his mind his best play, because Excelsior still needs to get reads right in order to win it. So it would have actually been two 50-50s in a row for Excelsior to win this game. He has to get the Terra prediction correct on the Zeraora, and then when Landorus comes in and kills it back, first of all, there's also a world where Sableye Plasma Fists and he doesn't Terra, in which he also just wins on the spot, because once Lando comes in, he just Terras and kills Lando, and then Sableye can't win anymore. Or Sableye goes to Coffer he puts it in range with the Excadrill, or kills it, because it would have killed at that point. And then Okidogi kills the Landorus. But Sableye should be able to know that that can happen and just Blaze Kick instead. So Excelsior should Terra, and Sableye should Blaze Kick, right? Should. This Zeraora should die. This thing should get put in range of Lando. Lando should come in and click Sludge Wave, because he can't click Earth Power. This Excadrill should die, and then this Okidogi comes out, and then it's a 50-50 on whether he clicks Ice Punch or Knockoff. Because Sableye can maybe stay in here and read the Knockoff coming out, and break the balloon with Sludge Wave and kill with Earth Power. But I think that's unlikely to happen. But what's also maybe unlikely is Excelsior realizing that Ice Punch plus Knock doesn't actually kill the Coffer. Maybe Gunk Shot. Oh no, Gunk Shot does kill. So Ice Punch plus Gunk Shot does kill. So yeah, Excelsior doesn't actually have to get that play correct. He just needs to get the Terra play correct. So yeah. It would come down to a 50-50 between this Excadrill and the Zeraora. Whether or not Excelsior clicks Terra or not, and whether or not Sableye reads it or not. It literally was just a 50-50 if that high horsepower does not miss. But it did, so this endgame doesn't matter. Even if Excelsior does Terra here, which at this point he was so tilted from the high horsepower miss that he didn't think about it. Even if he does, Landorus comes out, clicks Sludge Wave, this thing dies, and then he can just go Coffer. He's always living 2 versus the Okidogi. So he just goes raw Coffer, clicks Shadow Ball, breaks Balloon, goes Lando and kills. But yeah, very interesting endgame on this. It's unfortunate that high horsepower missed, but it is what it is. Me versus Lifham, I really don't think there's much to say here. I lost off lead. I forgot that this stupid cat got play rough. I would have led Wheezing otherwise, because I knew he was going to lead this, which is why I was Helmet, because I wanted free damage off his U-turn, and I just forgot this got play rough. Losing my HP here means I lose the game. I have nothing for Rhyperior here on my team, because I thought Volcanion would come over it. So, yeah. Heatran comes in, I'm Magma Storm Taunt, so I could stop this, but it doesn't matter. Rhyperior comes out on, yeah, I put rocks up. I kind of need rocks to beat this team. I'm just going to go Annihilate because I have defense and I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Everything on my team dies because, again, I sacked all my HP on Salamence to that fucking play rough. So I do nothing to this. I lose my Annihilate, which means I definitely lose the game because that was my only way to win it at this point. Mence comes out. Skarm comes out. I have to Toxic because otherwise I lose. I'm just going to Flame. Get my damage. If I brought Mamoswine, I could have maybe still won this, but I didn't. Heatran comes out. I'm going to taunt on the switch to... Did I taunt on the switch, or did I... He got the double, yeah. So this happens, but he showed Earthquake already, so it just doesn't matter. In comes the Manectric. If I had Mamoswine over Suicune, I could have still maybe won this game. If I was Trailblaze, Ice Shard, Earthquake specifically, I could have still won this game. Because the Rhyperior is in range at this point to Earthquake. The Skarmory, no, the Skarmory is not in range because I wouldn't have an Ice move to hit it. So, yeah, because I'm assuming this is Scarf with Grass Knot. So I actually needed 2 Trailblazes, which I don't think I was ever going to get. So I actually still lost. My play would have been Hyper Voice for the Throat Spray, and then, because I have Switcheroo, take this thing's boots, and then just click Hyper Voice over and over. But instead I shit my pants because there's a Kyurem in front of my face, so I go to my Fairy type. But I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. I took this thing's item. It has a Sugar Berry, which doesn't matter because I can't do anything about that. You're just gonna go Rhyperior and click Rest, which means I Turbo lose. I managed to flinch this thing down with Iron Head. Don't ask why I'm Iron Head, you don't want to know. And then it's just Meowscarada. You turn into this, and then click Special Moves until Kingdom Come. So, yeah, it's hard to go over, I'm sorry, it's hard to go over my games where I lose, because I've already thought so much about what I did wrong before I even record these videos. And I know what I did wrong. I didn't bring enough offense. I should have kept Mamoswine over Suicune. And I should have remembered that stupid cat got play rough. And Litfam, if we're being honest, didn't really do anything wrong. So it's hard to say that he did, and go over that, because he didn't. He made almost every play correct, so. I wish I could have put up a better performance for this game, but hopefully I'll give a better one in playoffs, because this was bad. Nez vs. Alaxo was probably my favorite game this week. This one was really close. Leads Kilowattrel. Look at Kilowattrel on this team. It's beautiful. If he sees Crook, he clicks Flying Move. If he sees anything else, he clicks Electric Move. So that's exactly what happens. Oh no, I'm a liar. Sorry. He just clicks Hurricane Raw, which again is also fine, because look at the switch-ins. He gets a nasty crit here. But he goes Dragapult, Rock Skull up. Mabel's actually just going to try to sack here, because this is so chipped at this point that it doesn't really do anything. And then Alaxo reveals Reflect. And Leftovers, by the way. He's not even Clay, so these screens aren't even going to stay around for long. Mabel's actually Psychic Fang. She doesn't click it next turn. I don't know why. I think it's the freest option here, but that's besides the point. And then Alaxel hard switches. This means we know this Dragapult's entire set. Why do we know this Dragapult's entire set? Well, think about it. It's in front of a Metagross, and it just switched out. That means two things. First of all, it hard switched. That means it doesn't have U-turn. Second of all, it's in front of a Metagross. Need I remind you? And it did not click Shadow Ball. That means it doesn't have Ghost moves. So, because it is Screen's Pult, we know a lot of things about this Dragapult. It's not Shadow Ball. It's not U-turn. It's not D-Dance. So it's got two moves remaining. What are those two moves? Well, the first assumption we can make, this has a Dragon coverage, because why would this not have Dragon coverage? Look at the team. Dragon coverage is really good. Also, why are you just not running Spec Shadow Ball? Look at the damn team. Whatever. So he's going to have Dragon coverage, right? In the moment I said Draco, he's going to end up having D-Darts, which is fine. Either or is, it's Dragon coverage at the end of the day. It's going to do similar damage because Pult is mixed. But let's look a little longer at Mabel's team. What is Dragon coverage not hit? Oh, Tapu Fini. You need to be able to hit Tapu Fini because it can be super detrimental to you in the end game otherwise, if you don't have Thunderbolt to hit this Tapu Fini. So yeah, it's gonna have Thunderbolt. Like, if it's not dual stab, it has to be Dragon coverage with Thunderbolt. Those have to be the other two moves because he doesn't have Shadow Ball and U-turn. You can narrow that down just from these couple turns where it sets screens and hard swapped out in front of a Metagross. You know this thing's entire set now. This is going to knock off a Mega Pokemon, which obviously doesn't do anything. He swapped in, so it's not like Mabel misplayed. I still think Psychic Fangs was a better play to get rid of screens, but this was a little bit of a mishandling. Mabel goes hard Torn because it's a Specs Heat Wave. That's not going to kill behind a screen. You should know that. And honestly, just go raw Metagross because you live too. No matter what, you're never dead to one Bullet Punch, and Light Screen has 3 turns at the end of this turn. So when you swap Torn here, you should just go back to Metagross, because it's going to Bullet Punch. No, actually, I'm a liar. I retract everything I said. Mabel made the correct play. Yeah, I'm stupid. You have to make this play. Yeah, because if you go back to Metagross here, it's just gonna click Swords Dance again, and you're gonna auto lose. So, yeah, you have to stay in a Heat Wave here to chip it down, and then you have to go Metagross. And then if you're a Laxel, yeah, I guess you just have to kill this. It might be faster because I know this had a little bit of speed on it, and it could kill you with Knock. And I don't think he had Roost, judging from the fact that he attacked there, because I think every other Mega Scizor that has Roost is clicking it there. So I think it's like Bullet Punch and Knock. Bug coverage? I'm not sure. Either way, Mabel goes straight to Sneasler, which seems like a terrible play until Upper Hand gets revealed, which is incredible good tech. This comes in and reveals, I believe that means it's Scarf, unless this is Adamant Sneasler. I think even Adamant Sneasler might outspeed that. Let me see. I don't want VGC sets. Adamant versus Keldeo. Adamant doesn't outspeed. So it could be Adamant Sneasler because we know it's going to be Misty Seed. We know it's not going to be Misty Seed because he didn't, or she, sorry. I said, well, even the Sneasler is a girl. Fuck, I got that wrong too. I was referring to the Sneasler. It's not Fling Big Nugget because it would just click it this turn if that was the case. If it was Fake Out Normal Gem, it would have just done that to the Scizor instead of Upper Hand. And if you're Fling Big Nugget, you kind of need coverage anyways, so wasting a slot on Upper Hand is just not a good play. So we pretty much know that this is just Swords Dance, Misty Seed. Out comes the Pult on the Swords Dance. Swords Dancing in front of the Keldeo was crazy, by the way, but I fully respect it because, again, it's fair to assume that this Keldeo can't touch you, and even then you live a Hydro, and you can just SD and get a kill after. Out comes Pult. I have to switch because it's faster. D-Darts comes off, we're sacking Crook, which is perfectly reasonable. And out comes Finny. Just like I thought, it's Thunderbolt. Light Screen comes out. He's going to Dragon Darts expecting a potential switch, because a switch to Sneasler is possible here, and he needs to prevent that, so a Dragon Darts is perfectly fair. Mabel collects with Moonblast, and then he's going to go Ogerpon and Stomping Tantrum. Normally I'd pause here and talk about this play, but I needed to wait till I see my chat message pop up, because, yeah. I said out loud on the Ogerpon, guy like me goes Sneasler here. And I would have lost the game instantly, because that stomping would not have been good. The reason I say that is because I thought Cudgel was very obvious, but he did not click Cudgel. Instead, he tried to read Sneasler, but at the same time, Alexel cannot let this Sneasler in. That would be horrendous. So, even though it's actually the safe play to Stomping Tantrum, and technically the correct play, because if that Sneasler comes in, he kind of just loses on the spot at +2. So, he is Terrafly Keldeo. I believe Terrafly Keldeo. Terra-Electric Keldeo. So never mind. I believe Electric does not resist CC. So, yeah, he cannot let that Sneasler in, pretty much no matter what. So, it's actually the safe play to Stomping Tantrum in the read to click Cudgel, but Mabel just goes Torrent, seeing that he's clicking Stomping Tantrum, and then lands the Bleak Windstorm to kill the Ogerpon. Out comes Kilowattrel, clicks T-Bolt, kills Torn. Very standard. At this point, Mabel is just sacking Finny to get Sneasler in. Alexel still cannot let the Sneasler in. So he can't click T-Bolt and kill this Finny. He simply cannot allow that to happen, because Sneasler then just comes in, gets his Misty Seed off, or even Drift Bloom at this point. Like, no matter what, Alexel can't kill with the Kilowattrel here. Mabel clicks Surf. which is terrible because I think Alexa was expecting Moonblast. And then out comes Keldeo. Abel's gonna switch here on the Terra Electric, and then he's gonna be able to kill this Drifblim, which doesn't have Misty Seed, which is weird, but out comes the Sneasler, and yeah, the game is over. Again, he ran out of options to deal with the Sneasler, especially after upper hand down revealed. Poison Jab crit, I don't believe matters very much. I could run and calc it, but I'm too lazy to. You know what? No, I'm gonna calc it. Fuck you. Keldeo versus Sneasler at +2. Well, I mean, it is saying Dire Claw, but Dire Claw and Poison Jab are the same base power, so it does not matter, which is mostly the reason I banned Dire Claw. Yeah, this Keldeo was dead no matter what to +2 Sneasler. Oh, that's +2 Choice Band. Poison Jab 96 to 114. Rocks were up, and so he had swapped in twice. So yeah, Poison Jab always killed in this, even if he was like max HP. It was a roll in her favor, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, slightly in her favor, but I doubt he's max HP. Fucking Scarf or whatever bullshit. So yeah, I mean, it was just Sneasler. The whole game is just playing around Sneasler. That's Mabel's team, is playing around Sneasler, and he ran out of options to play around it. So yeah, that was a really fun game to watch. Anyways, that's week 3. Still waiting on Icarus versus Radacious. I won't be covering that once it comes out. Sorry, you guys were late. It's not on me. It's not really on Icarus either, because he did ping red, but yeah. So I won't be covering that. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we have more battles next week to go over. Yeah, I'm gonna go. My voice is unbelievably shot because I had to re-record. So thank you all for watching. See you next time.